Okay, guys, we are live. So for those listening at home, welcome to the Live from the Sword Coast podcast. My name is Kevin Madison, and I will be your friendly dungeon master this evening. Tonight, we are carrying on with our ongoing campaign playing Robert Schwab's very cool horror dark fantasy role-playing game, Shadow of the Demon Lord. This is our 17th session in this campaign. So if you are just joining us for the first time, you may want to go back and watch some of the earlier episodes just to get caught up on what's happened so far. With me tonight are the stars of the Friday night sessions, and I'll go in the order that you guys logged in on. So first up is Steve-O.
Yo, I'm playing Nuta the Thalys, an elvish, roguish thief, and yes.
Yeah. Next up, Jeffrey.
Hey everybody, I'm Jeff, and I'm playing unknown character tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're not playing the undead dwarf?
The one who died?
He didn't die. He was a ghost or a revenant or something.
Oh, well, I mean, I guess.
Yeah.
He sacrificed himself last
Even
session.
a revenant has difficulty surviving an onslaught of lava. So, yeah, they regenerate quite well, but when you got nothing left to regenerate from, that makes it a little trickier. And finally, so we've got James.
Hello, I'm playing Ember, a tiefling wizard, pyromancer.
That you are. Now, joining us a little later, we've got Dave and Brent logging in, but they are dealing with their offspring right now, so we need to, they need to put their kids to bed. So I'm going to be starting the session, guys, with a bit of a revision. The way we ended last session was with you guys walking out of the caverns that led down to the Jotenguard, where you activated those ancient mechanisms to basically seal off the roads through the Darklands, through which the orc horde was traveling, with the assistance of some unusual allies. Do you guys remember who those unusual allies were?
They had mechanical suits or something like that. They're masked.
Yep, that's right.
They were associated to a Nute somehow.
Yeah, the name
They were
rhymes-
dark. They were some kind of elves, right?
Oh yeah, they were
Yeah, right.
I don't know what they're called.
From our
So-
legends.
Yes,
Ghost-
from your
ghost elves. No,
Shadow
What do
Elves,
you-
isn't it?
what was that, Steve?
Is it
Shadow Elves.
Look at that, fate point for you, buddy.
All right.
So yes, they you found that amongst those orcs were these legendary sort of boogeymen of the elven people, these Shadow Elves. And I believe that Halen made off with one of their unusual, very advanced rifles as well. Now, what happened in the afterwards is you guys got out, and then we narrated sort of a scene of where this, hooded figure appeared and walked up to you guys. But I'm gonna use the my daily ability to do a retcon, and we're gonna change that because I want to have a bit of a different session tonight. We are one session off from our final time playing this campaign. So this is the penultimate adventure in this campaign. You guys are currently level 9, heading on to level 10, at which point we will be saying goodbye to these heroes. Now, what's happened, guys, is instead you guys have left the caverns leading to the Jotenguard, and as soon as you stepped out, Halen faded away. So Halen has disappeared, leaving only the 3 of you. Sorry, 2 of you now. So you left Ember and Nute alone in the foothills near the Stonehome Mountains. You managed to make your way back after some waiting. You made your way back towards... Well, actually, let me ask you this. Do you think you would go back to Overlook, or would you go back to the. Oh, you know what? Let's hop into Roll20, guys. Sorry, I'm getting the cart before the horse here. Let's do the old camera shuffle. Get ourselves into Roll20, and then I can take advantage of that lovely map of the Elseer Vale. So let's see here. Let me turn my camera off here. Let me get share screens on. There we go. Application windows. Okay, and I'll take you guys. Come with me, if you will. The Elseer Vale. Boom. Let me make sure I'm sharing with everyone here. Present to everyone. There we go. Hit that. Yep. And okay, guys. So where we left you was around. Can you all see where I'm pinging? A little north of Thunder Tree there.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's around where the vents are, and the vents are what led down to the control room for the Jotenguard. And when you left there, you have the option of sort of heading back north towards Overlook. You could try and like hitch a ride on the river, I guess. Why don't you tell me what you guys do?
Well, we got griffins, so we can still fly.
That's true.
I'm thinking we head to Overlook.
Okay. So when you reach Overlook, there is, well, obviously, you know, you're met with a great deal of support once you explain what's happened, because the vast majority of the army is dealing with the orc horde that is throwing itself against Bordrin's watch. However, once you explain to the elders on the council what had happened, why don't you tell me actually what do you explain to them? We don't need to role play this, guys. You can just tell me like in broad strokes what happens. This is all happening in the movie version through a cutscene with some like narration over top.
Yeah, well, we made it to the monastery and discovered how to close the dark highway.
The highway to the Darklands?
Yeah, and then we proceeded to do that. We encountered some resistance along the way. The orc horde.
What happened to the monastery of the Broken Chain?
It was taken over by orcs.
What? Sacked
yes.
by orcs?
Yes, but we took them out.
For
and they, what?
For dinner?
Yes, we took them out for dinner. They were full from eating dwarfs.
I saw Pulp Fiction not long ago recently, so I'm taking her out. Taking her out? Anyway, tough craft.
Crickets. Yeah, and we fought a dragon, killed it, and then proceeded to close the or seal the tunnels.
So the entire monastery is abandoned now.
Yes.
The orcs, do they survive?
It's a good question. I don't know if we got all of them or not. I don't know how we left there.
Well, you left there on Griffinback after fighting that dragon. But you guys didn't tell me that. I think you were in a rush to get to the
yes,
to the Jotenguard, so you're not sure what's happening.
So the monastery still could have orc occupants.
Well, then that means there may be dangerous bands of orcs. We cannot have them fortifying the monastery. What happened to your companions?
It's complicated, but some went away, and one fell to the dragon.
One fell to the dragon. Technically, one fell to your an elvish monk, but good of you to cover for him. Right. So then, Nute and Halen, Nute and Ember, what are you guys going to do then? I mean, they're right that if that monastery becomes a strong point for the orcs to rally around, for whatever orcs that made it through the highways before. What do you tell them about the, if anything, about the Shadow Elves?
Nope.
No.
So we'll reveal the Shadow Elves and the fact that the orcs had allies in them somehow.
You will tell them that, or you?
We will.
Okay.
The Shadow Elves, they had the weaponry with the markings.
Yes.
They were the ones that have been supplying the hordes around the area.
That's right.
So the Shadow Elves have been arming various monstrous armies.
Why?
Yeah.
So,
Because they can.
Do you feel that the two of you, if your allies are your allies expected to return, or is it just the two of you now?
We have no idea. We're hoping.
Then we can't wait for the for your allies to decide to return. That monastery needs to be secured. If you're telling me that you're unable to do this, then we will find some other someone else to do that. But it's a task that needs completed. Tell me now. Are the two of you capable of this?
Sorry. What's the task again? What's the task again?
Securing the monastery of the Broken Chain. You've left a fortress in the hands of orcs. If there are other orcs that are pillaging in the forests here, we cannot have them return and fortify that location.
We could return. Nute, you're sneaky, and I can be sneaky. And we could be like in a assassin team. Go in and assassinate guys.
Yeah, you guys could be very sneaky together.
Only the two, so the two of you. So this goes on for a little bit longer. If you guys are willing to go back and try and like sneak your way in, they will supply you a small detachment of dwarven troops, sort of volunteers. So between you guys and them, we're not going to play through it, but we'll just you can imagine that you guys make your way back. They're under your command. You guys are clearly the big bad heroes here, and you guys secure and you guys secure the monastery again. Why don't you each give me one very cool scene that was involved your securing the monastery? I'll roll randomly and I'll tell you who's going first. Steve, you are the oddball. And you're going first, buddy. Oh, are you muted, Steve? Because I can't hear you at all.
It's a little low.
Hello.
Oh, there we go. I can hear you now.
Okay. I was hearing an echo, so I wanted to shut my mute off.
Oh, sure. You know what? Okay, that might be because of... oh, no, that shouldn't be. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Steve.
Okay. Well, my legendary dagger Flicker flew from my hand and stuck one of the Shadow Elves in the eye just after I declared my oath of vengeance on him. And
I mean, in the monastery, there's no Shadow Elves in the monastery. Only
it's all orcs. All orcs all the time.
Yeah.
Oh yes. Well, there was that orc that I killed that time.
No, sorry, Steve. What I'm asking for is you guys are going back to basically drive the last of the orcs out of the monastery, and you're taking a small team with you. So I'm just thinking like it'd be fun to fill in a little quick cut scene of what you guys were doing. Like, if you like that idea of flickers, you sort of like poof, bamfing back and forth between shadows and like stabbing a guy and then poof, disappearing and appearing in another shadow and slashing another one's throat and then tossing your dagger. And then you disappear and reappear to from where your dagger hits to pull it out of its throat again.
Yes, that's it. Precisely.
Okay. How about Ember? What do you got?
Ember sneaks into a room invisible that's got a bunch of orcs in it, and because of her robe, she moves silently so no one can hear her. And at the right time, she just basically engulfs the room in fire.
Amazing. Okay. This thing is...
They never see it coming, and she just walks out of the flames.
So all we see is your black eyes and wreaths in flame. Now, that happens. You guys control or get control of the monastery again, and it's about 2 weeks later when you and the dwarves that you brought with you, about I think a third of them died in the in retaking the monastery, but the rest of you survived, and a messenger comes to let you know that the rest of the orc horde has broken against Bordrin's watch and is now gone. The threat of the orcs is over for now. So there are other orcs, other dwarves who come and relieve you at the monastery, so you guys head back to Overlook. So this has been about 3 weeks, maybe close to a month, since the Battle of the Jotenguard. And you're still on your own. No sign of Rakus, no sign of Halen, just the two of you. You're, of course, met, as with the other people who fought in at the Bordrin's Watch Fortress. Their Overlook itself is just a giant party. If you think of like a fantasy version of like the VE Day parade, where there's people going along and, nurses are kissing sailors and stuff like that. Like it's really just a really jubilant celebration. But how do you guys feel about this? Ember, you can't, I think we probably cut to a scene of you guys sitting we see like the streets are full of all these people partying. There's dwarven soldiers who have returned from the fight. They've got bandages and stuff like that on them from the battle wounds that they suffered at the hands of orc arrows and things like that. There are people handing out stuff to adventurers and mercenaries and soldiers who fought against them. And we, in the midst of this giant fun crowd, we see two figures who are sitting at a little, like, sort of open air cafe type thing, where you two are sitting. And both of you have your little griffin statuettes or like, game pieces that you're playing over in your hands. You're enjoying I'm not sure, like a wine or a beer or something like that. And the fact that your allies still haven't returned, and that you've still got this plan. Ember, I think that you are idly sort of turning over in your hands that blackened envelope, because you still haven't actually burned it yet. Correct. You really just haven't had the opportunity or the time.
Still debating if I want to.
Yeah. So what you guys are thinking is there's two, I think, or probably what's weighing on your mind is two major developments. I mean, one obviously is that how the hell do you do this plan that you guys hatched when you're missing, 2/3 of your group? You haven't seen Xavier in months now. He's been missing for so long, and it's that's happened before, because you guys again completely forgot about Nute after that first happened, but he's back. And now, there's this celebration. That there's going to be, probably a week or so of celebrations and gratitude and whatnot too. But then life's going to go back to normal. And if the plan, Ember, was for you to put together a mercenary group to sort of, you certainly have redeemed your group in the eyes of the Elseer Consortium, so they certainly will be happy to hire you on. But, a second story man and a wizard do not make a mercenary group. So what do you guys, what's sort of the plan here, guys? What are you guys thinking of doing?
Well, we need more people, but what we got to do is, if we're thinking about saving the world, is shut down these Shadow Elves.
Okay. What do you think, Ember?
That is a good. Ooh, that's getting loud. It is a good plan. Shutting down the Shadow Elves, because there's other orc hordes that they could easily arm, and I'm not too certain we are in a position to be going to the the court of
the Flawless City.
Yeah, I think that might be a little bit out of our reach at the moment.
Okay.
Do you know so far that the Shadow Elves have armed the Horde of the Red Hand, those hobgoblins,
Yep.
In central Elsyr Vale, and those orcs were armed as well. You also know that the Sundering Stone is fracturing as well. So the walls between the worlds, the things that have been keeping the enemy at bay, are weakening. So what's the immediate plan? What do you guys have planned for the next month then? Let's just start with that.
Should we destroy some Stargates?
How about we recruit? Because of the attack in Bordran's Watch, there might be veteran adventurers that could be looking for work.
There's going to be tons of plenty.
So if we need to rebuild our group, sort of, we're going to need help.
Mm-hmm.
And if we've got some renown, now there might be people, or there might be adventurers looking to hire on with us.
Okay. So let's start with James. You give me roll 2d20, please.
2d20?
Yes, please. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Ooh, interesting. Okay. So this scene will take place about maybe 2 weeks after you guys make the decision to try and start hiring people. What do you like? What do you see as the plan for hiring these people?
We need some muscle.
Okay, so you're sort of like asking around and trying to find.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're sort of doing that, and like, you're meeting with people? I imagine at at different
probably going to taverns, going to the barracks and stuff like that, talking to some of the soldiers and guards, and see if either anyone stands out or they know of anyone that has caught their eye.
Okay. So as you are leaving one of those late night meetings, some other people that you had met who had they were part of an adventuring group that was assigned with the Bordran's Watch. They lost 2 of their members. There's 4 of them in total, and they're looking for for sort of a reassignment or a new sort of task. You're not sure they're going to be a great fit, but it's another name to consider. It also seems like they may be more interested in leaving town, so you're not sure there's going to be a right fit for what you guys want to do. Although I guess you don't know where you're going to go, right?
We're not necessarily staying here.
Okay. So they're an option. And as you're leaving, you are making your way down the street, or back towards where you guys are staying. And I think at this point, the town has been, because you guys there's a lot of gratitude that's been thrown around to all the different mercenaries who served. But knowing that you guys secured the Monastery of the Broken Chain, and that you prevented the orc horde from using the dark highways, you guys are a great deal of the gratitude is owed towards you guys, as in particular. So you're put up in a fairly nice accommodations, and you're leaving this place when you hear the sound of boot prints walking behind you, Ember. Okay. Someone keeping pace with you. What do you do?
She turns invisible.
Okay.
And so moves around behind.
Remember, like spells, you have to cast a spell. They'll know you're doing that.
Sorry?
Like you don't just like become invisible. You have to cast a spell to become invisible.
Okay. Well, she's going to keep walking, pretending she doesn't hear.
Yeah.
And with her back to them, she's gonna, and then.
Yeah, it's not. Remember, magic is a big gesturing thing. Like they will know that you're. It's not like a mutant power, right? You're not suddenly not there. They're going to know, like, oh, she cast a spell to go invisible. It's not really important.
But am I doing this or am I doing this?
No, it's the middle ground between. Like, in order to cast spells, you need to be able to gesture and whatever. Like, it's not a small thing. It's not like a coin trick. So you cast a spell and you are invisible, and you hear whatever was following you, you hear a voice that you recognize laughing. Typical Ember.
Oh, who is it?
It is that tiefling who you've dealt with before.
Yep. I can't pronounce his name.
I got to pull up his actual sheet to get his name. I don't remember it.
Zagny or something.
Zagny?
I don't know. Z something.
Yeah, that sounds right. Let's see here. Shadows of Skeletal Horror. Did the right thing? Nope. Wrong document. Oh, I'm just pulling up my campaign log. Oop, fuck. Let's see. Here we go. Oop. Travelers. No.
Go.
Is this? Nope, that's not it. I don't know where it is.
I've got it in my notes. For some reason, I just can't find the stupid thing.
Here we go. Campaign notes. Notes. Let's see if this is it. Nope, that's not it. Let's see here. Sorry, I didn't anticipate needing this stuff right now, so I did not pull it up. Player's guide?
Oh, I'll have to pull up the email. It's not in my notes.
Nope. What in the... What?
But what in the butt?
Oh, Brent sent me a text. His house is falling apart. Both fridges are leaking.
Scales of War NPC list. Here we go, guys. Zagan. That's his name.
Zagan?
Zagan. So, yeah, it's Zagan, the tiefling underboss, the Lost Ones, and apparently an ally of, or a contact of your father. So he's making his way along, and he sort of stops and says, "Well, you're going to show your face to talk, or will I be talking to the shadows?"
She's behind him now, and she puts her staff to his back. What do you want?
Zan, just to talk, my dear. Just to talk. Now, will we talk face to face, or?
She steps back and lets him turns around.
Yeah, he sort of has his hands up and turns around. He looks at you with those red eyes, a smirk on his face. I think this guy is played by Jason Fleming.
I don't know who that is.
You do, because he is. They remember the guy that they say he looks like he should be fat but isn't, from Lockstock. You recognize the actor? He's in a zillion fucking things afterwards. So, yeah. So Jason Fleming he turns around and looks at you and smiles. So, your father has not heard from you.
He has not yet.
Why are you so intent on avoiding the gifts that your father would have for you? Do you understand the trouble that he went to? I see you're torn, Ember. You busy yourself
I've been
around
dealing with the loss of our party.
What do they matter? They're not family. But you knew that, Ember. Family. Family's what's important. I think idly, your hand is already, you realize that your hand has gone to your pocket where you keep the letter. You sort of catch it. Do you keep your hand on that, or do you sort of jerk it back?
Jerk it back.
Okay. It says, then you do still have it.
I do.
You would like to talk.
I'll contact him when I'm ready. He's waited this long for the seal. A few more days.
His eyes sort of dance. He says, then you have it.
I do.
And his eyes sort of trace up and down. He says, good girl. Your father will be pleased. He'll tell you himself when you speak. He looks over your shoulder, and there's someone coming out of the one of the buildings behind you. Do you turn to look?
No.
Okay. You can hear someone walking up behind you. He's just got a smile on his face. They're getting closer. Plop, plop, plop. The footsteps echoing. Plop, plop. He just looks at you, staring square in the eyes.
She's going to shift to the side and turn so that she can look at him and down the aisle behind her.
Give me a will challenge, please, with 1 Bane, please.
Will challenge as well.
Oh yeah, so yeah, you definitely do that. He seems like he's testing you, and you can feel like you're able to resist it quite easily because of that great roll. But he seems to be waiting for you to look, like as if he's going to vanish as soon as you look away. But you manage to keep your eyes on him, though you really want to see what's walking past. And you see what walks past is just some wobbling drunk guy who's on his way to somewhere else. Zagan smiles and says, he's waiting, Ember. And he sort of doffs his knot on his head towards you, gestures as if he is doffing a hat towards you, walks back without turning his back towards you until he's about maybe 20 yards away, and he slowly backs into the shadows. He's waiting, Ember. And it's where we leave Ember's scene. Newtape, would you kindly roll 2d20 for me, please?
2d20.
Yes, please.
Kevin?
Yes, sir.
Brent's having an emergency right now, and he needs me to go to his house. Because he goes, no one else is answering his phone, and I'm the closest person to him.
Okay.
Oh, shit, I can't. Charles is asleep.
Yeah. Do you want to take a moment to just give him a call and let him know?
Yeah, please. I'll be...
Sure. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so Newtape, 21. Ooh. So Newtape, what are you doing with your time? We know that Ember is off doing his recruiting. What is Newtape doing with his time?
Newtape is, sort of slowly being sucked into this. Well, he's got this internal conflict because he's always just been sort of a selfish dude, but now he's being sort of asked to put himself on the line for some higher good when people don't even know what's going on. And he's wrestling with this. So he's drinking a little bit and wrestling with this, and whether he summoning up the courage to try and follow through with it.
So, like, by drinking, do you mean like seriously drinking? Like, he's got like big nights in the town kind of stuff?
Yeah, he sits at bars and he gets drunk and
so
looks for people to talk to.
Sure. So you do that, and I think there's probably 1 or 2 nights that are sort of where you're not even able to recall what happened the night before.
Mm-hmm.
And it's after one such night where you wake up, and I think you've become all too familiar with this in the sense that you wake up and you're looking around and you don't know where you are. You look to your left, or to your right rather, and you don't recognize who's in the bed with you. You kind of look, and her face is turned away from you. She, like you, she has no clothes on, and there's a breeze coming in through the window. Feels cool in here. You've got the heavy sheets on you. What do you do?
I go over and look out the window and close it.
Okay, so you get out of bed and you walk over, and you get to the window and you close it. And as you're heading back, you look down, and you see that your breeches, the right leg of your breeches, is covered in blood.
Dun dun dun. This doesn't sound good. I took out the girl on the bed to see if she's still alive.
She is dead. A vicious stab wound, or series of stab wounds in her side. What do you do?
I guess we'd better get the heck out of here. Well, do I even know where I am?
You're not too sure. You can hear sort of a thump, 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 thump from coming up the stairs from outside. Like from outside the room, not outside of the building.
Right. I guess I'd better put my clothes on. Oh my gosh. What else can I do? As quickly as possible.
You scramble and start putting your clothes on, then you hear sort of a boom, 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 boom at the door. Madeline? Madeline? Boom, 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 boom against the door again. You're scrambling, getting all your clothes on. Madeline, answer the door. Madeline? You are now fully clothed. What are you doing?
Let's see. I guess I better try to open the window again.
Okay, you open the door or the window, and looking out, you are on. Let's roll randomly here. Oh, you're actually only on the second floor. So you look out, and it looks like it's I'll be fair. I was going to divide by 2, so the first floor. So you actually look out, and this basically leads out into the alleyway. It's only about maybe 5 or 6 foot drop into the alleyway, but the alleyway does seem fairly busy. Well, no, it doesn't seem fairly busy. Let's randomly find out what a busy alleyway is like. Oh man, I love me some random tables. All right, let's see here. So, Steve.
Yes.
Would you kindly roll some dice for me? And what I need those dice to be rolled.
Here's a D8.
If you think that I'm just stalling to find the charge, then I would say that that's a vicious lie. I mean, to suggest that I wouldn't be coming into this adventure completely prepared and ready to run something and have to actually look up and waste your time and the viewer's time and Jeff's time and James's time while I'm trying to find the table. Oh, I found it. Okay, give me a D20 roll, please.
D20. 9.
9. So you look out the window, and there is a small group of. It looks like Steve. Not hold on. Is it not stevedores, but the laborers, like the I guess it would be whatever what would we call the teamsters who are making their way along, and they look up, and there's a group of 3 of them that look up and look at you, and because you've got this sort of agitated sort of look to you, so they look up and they see you, and they're loading some kind of cart in the alleyway. What are you doing?
Okay, shit. I leap out the window.
Madeline?
I leap out the window. And,
okay, so you leap out the window and go down, and what do you do then?
I say good evening to the gentleman, and I wander past them casually.
Okay. And then you make your way off into the that's it for Overlook. I don't think that's a terribly unusual sort of occurrence.
Okay.
So yeah, you go wandering off. What do you do now?
Now I got to get back to wherever I was staying and get cleaned up. Did I gather my stuff? Like I looked around.
Well, you in the length of time you did, you're thinking now that, well, shit, I grabbed what I could in an emergency, but it's only now you're thinking of grabbing all your stuff. Did you want to double check to make sure you didn't leave anything behind, or what?
Yeah. Let's just check out my outfit and make sure I've got the stuff that I came with.
Okay. So let me think here. This is really just a matter of luck. Actually, no. Here, you give me a fate roll, please. Let's see.
Okay, what's a fate roll? Hold on.
Should be on the first tab of your character sheet.
First tab of the character sheet. Main, healing rate, defense, corruption.
Right in the middle of your character sheet, I believe.
Huh. Like where there's the star with all the.
Yeah, I'm trying to picture it in my head here. I didn't open your character sheet, but right in the middle here. Let me open up your character. Where are you? Characters. Probably under the tab called characters. Let's see. New tab. Character sheet. Right underneath damage, there is a thing called fate. Let's see.
Oh, there! Look at that. Okay.
You guys can heal your damage, by the way. Oh, a 3. A 3, eh? Steve, you rolled a 3.
Yeah.
You know what that means?
No.
Neither do I. Let's see what. I think you probably got a 50-50 chance of having grabbed everything, because you're probably not your first time. And you know what? You don't think you left anything behind.
Whew.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, as long as I got flicker anyways in my dough.
What you can see though is that your breeches are beginning to, they're so soft with blood, it's beginning to seep through your pants.
Okay.
Not like all of it, but there's part of it. So describe for me how you're going to get yourself back to your quarters, and then what you do.
Is there a river nearby?
In Overlook. Did I post a map of Overlook? I did not. So we got a handout for Overlook. I don't remember. I don't think we did. Oh, yes, we do. Check it out. Here we go. There is what Overlook is. So there is not a river in there, but I bet you there's a bunch of public wells. It's a dwarf-built city, so I imagine that and it's very, very old. So I imagine that there is quite good infrastructure. But at this point, it's the middle of the morning. It would be a public thing. So I don't know. What do you think? It looks like there's some parks in the city as well too. Those probably have like pools or something like that. But I mean, again, it's the middle of the day, so there's probably like back alleys where there are barrels full of water or something like that.
Speaking of water,
yeah.
Brent's having issues at the house. My mom's coming down to watch Charles. I'm heading over to help Brent because his parents are out at the lake. He can't get a hold of them. Laura's in Toronto, so she's not there. He goes, he's got no one to help him.
What, you want to call a plumber?
It's
good of you to go and help him. I'm just like,
I know
him to fix that problem. Does he know how to turn the water off?
It's the fridges. It's not a plumbing issue. The fridges he's got the fridge in the basement's leaking, and they got a brand new fridge upstairs, and apparently now it's leaking, and he's got water damage in the floor, and he's trying to get the water to stop.
Right. Does he know how to turn the water off?
I don't know.
Well, as an adage, like, this is one of the things I've dealt with in my day job, right, is water losses. Get him to turn the fucking water off. Go down to the main and turn the water off so that he's not having, at least that'll stop the leaks and it'll stop the damage.
Yeah.
And then what he's going to want to do is call his insurance company as well, because they can get emergency, not necessarily tonight, but they're going to get emergency people out to help him.
Yeah.
Yeah, like before there's serious damage to his house.
Yeah. He tried calling Dave. Dave picked up and then hung up. And Brent's like, what the hell?
Dave, yeah. Well, why don't we do this? We will call the session right now. We're not going to call gaming tonight done, but let's wrap up this session for now. If we're going to have an emergency pause.
Yeah, because there's really no point in continuing.
No, if it sounds like Dave may not be available, then why don't we do this, guys? We will, James. Well, first off, let's just for the viewers at home. So first off, we apologize for calling this a short session, but unfortunately, life kind of gets in the way. Let's. I'm just going to exit the game here, guys, and then I'll get back to the main screen. Stop sharing. Turn my camera on. There we go. So for those listening at home, thanks very much for joining us. But unfortunately, it seems like there's some emergencies that are going on. We are going to swap to a different game. So if you are listening live, then we will be back momentarily. Otherwise, we'll be back in about 2 weeks' time with some more Shadow of the Demon Lord. So we'll see you then.